Hey everyone, it's Tracy Martirana here from Holistic Wellness with Tracy. Welcome to video 1 of a new series that I'm doing about sustainable weight loss. No matter what we're trying to do in life, we want and expect fast results. Whether it's how much money we make at our job, whether it's, what car can we afford? We want to afford like the nicer car now, right? We want to declutter and clean our house all in one weekend and have it perfect from here on out. And when it comes to losing weight, it's the same thing. We expect to lose weight fast. We expect it to just stay off, even if we don't actually change our habits, and none of that works. Diet culture and the whole fad diet craze has convinced us for years, for decades, that we must be skinny and that we must be skinny now. And it sets us up for failure every single time. What do I mean by diet culture? I mean the way that we have ideologized, did I say that right? Ideologized skinny. Like when we think of what is beauty, it is now skinny. Decades ago, it was not. Like a little curvy was like attractive. That was the goal. But now it's skinny, skinny, skinny. Not only do we equate being skinny with being beautiful, but also healthy and smart and just simply better. And and along those same lines, not only do we think of skinny as being the goal, we actually sort of vilify weight. So anybody who's a little bit overweight, we tend to like look down on them. What are they doing wrong? Like, what is wrong with them that they can't be skinny? And often the people that we look at, those really skinny models or actors or people in the media, we look at them and we think that is what I want to look like. Unfortunately, many of them are unhealthy. They're either doing unnatural, unhealthy dieting or obsessive exercise. Granted, yes, there are some people who are just skinny. They're born skinny, just like some people will always be a little overweight. Some people will always be a little underweight. But a lot of people force themselves into that skinny category in an unhealthy way. Another issue with diet culture is we moralize food, like certain food types or macros. And of course, the first thing that probably pops into your head is carbs are bad, right? Can't eat carbs. Fruit has too much sugar. You shouldn't be eating fruit. Like, oh my God, you just ate that piece of cake. That's horrible. Don't you have any willpower or self-control? All of those things. There is no bad food. You can eat anything in a healthy diet. You just can't eat everything, and maybe you can't eat as much of it as you might want, but there is no such thing as bad food. And often we tend to push, enjoy, look for, I don't know what the right word for it is, but fad diets. Again, we want fast results. So we think, oh, if we just eat this magic food, all the weight will drop off. Or if we just changed our eating pattern a little bit, all the weight will drop off. But that's not how it works. Most fad diets are really just some sort of disordered eating. So let's talk about fad diets for a moment. Most fad diets are like that get rich quick scheme, right? They overpromise and way underdeliver. And some of them, like, yeah, you might lose a few pounds, but they're not healthy. They're not sustainable. Some of them are just downright crazy. Some of them a little bit better than others. But let's just talk about this for a moment. What is a fad diet? Pretty much any diet that promises that you're going to lose weight fast, like 10 pounds in a week, it's a fad diet. It's not realistic. Anything that vilifies a food group or a food component or a macro, think, like keto and carbs, anything that limits what you eat to something very, very specific. Like you can have this one food and that's it. And that makes me think of like there's grapefruit juice diet. I've heard of like cabbage soup diets. You can eat one thing. Maybe you can only eat salad and that's it. No, not good. Or if the diet is meal replacements and supplements and other like pills that come in a bottle, or all of your food comes in a bottle, no, it's not good. With the caveat, if you are morbidly obese or you're working with a doctor or nutritionist for some sort of like real health issue, then it's possible they might give you a prescription diet that has maybe a little bit of that, maybe supplements, maybe meal replacements, that kind of thing. But what I'm talking about is just what the average Joan is deciding to do to lose, those 10, 20, 30, 50 extra pounds. And some of the fad diets are absolutely ridiculous. Some that I see are like baking soda based, that you drink some sort of baking soda concoction and that's supposed to help your body release fat, or you eat a ton of gelatin, which, yeah, I guess if you only ate Jello, you probably will lose some pounds. But is that healthy? Absolutely not. And they promote themselves as if, oh, do this thing, click this thing, give me some money, and I will tell you exactly how to do it. It's not real, right? They're just trying to sell you snake oil. And a lot of what they promise is just crazy talk. Like one that I see touts, I think, losing 45 pounds in a month. No, no, just no. And what I do want to mention, because I feel like it's very common, people do it all the time, is the keto diet. That is a fad diet. Yes, you will lose some weight. Yes, it does help you like limit like cheap carbs, simple carbs, but it also gets rid of all the good carbs, right? Like you get a ton of protein, a ton of fat. It's very high protein, very high fat, and very low carb. The problem with that is the carbs, right? Did you know that fiber is a carb? So if you are cutting out all of your carbs, you're also cutting out fiber, and fiber is a huge, huge component of any healthy diet. Long term, that's what helps your digestion. It keeps you full. It helps you maintain blood sugar levels. Fiber is very, very important. As a matter of fact, I would suggest that most diets should be mostly like created around fiber and protein, and then other carbs kind of like in addition, and the fat will come along. You'll get plenty of fat without really thinking about it. But without fiber, it's not a good thing. So yeah, you could do the keto diet and you will lose some weight. But chances are, as soon as you go back to eating normal and healthy, the weight's going to come back on. You're not really learning how to feed your body for the long haul. So before we move any further, I do want you to consider, do you really need to lose weight? Are you uncomfortable in your clothes, uncomfortable in your body? Do you really think that you would feel better if you lost a little bit of weight? Is it about how you feel and how you live life? Or is it just vanity and you're falling into that trap of diet culture of thinner is better, so therefore I must be thin? I want you to really think about that for a moment and not just diet because the world is telling you you have to. Try to lose weight only if you feel like you need to. And then we're going to do it very slow and purposeful so that we're not going to roller coaster up and down of losing weight and then putting it back on and all that crap that so many of us have done for years. If you're thinking, well, maybe I don't really want to lose weight. I just want to be healthier. I want to eat healthier. I want to move more. I want to enjoy my life. Then I'm going to say, click on the link above. I'm going to link in my 90-day to holistic wellness video series. Go ahead and watch that and follow along with that just to have that healthier lifestyle, not necessarily to lose weight. If you feel that you do need to get a handle on what's going on so you can lose weight and keep it off, then make sure you're subscribed and that you like this video so that you see the others in the series. In this series, we are going to learn how to slowly change our habits, how to slowly begin eating healthier, moving more, taking care of ourselves in a way that will help us lose weight and then learn how to maintain it and stay at that weight without giving up our favorite foods, right? Making sure that we're eating in a way that fits into our lifestyle. Yeah, you can lose weight if you give up everything you love and you only eat salad and, I don't know, salad and bland chicken breasts every day for the rest of your life. But that's not what life is, right? We want to make sure that we are eating good, tasty foods, that we're getting our favorites, and that we're setting ourselves up for success long term. So it is a little bit of a commitment. This isn't like a program I'm trying to sell you. It's just tips and ideas and concepts and tools that you can use to create your own program, because there is no one size fits all diet that is going to help everybody. You have to design a lifestyle that works for you. That means that you are going to have to experiment a little bit, maybe have some failures, but we're not talking big failures, as in I just gained back the 20 pounds I lost. We're talking like, oops, overshot that estimate and now I just gained a pound. Let's rework and work back through it. So stick with me. It'll be good. The first steps that we are going to take actually have nothing to do with losing weight. It's about figuring out where we are right now. And I know you're going to be tempted to say, nope, I'm going to skip this. I just want to jump into eating better, right? I just want to lose some pounds fast. That's great. I understand your excitement and your commitment. But if we don't understand where we are right now and some of the problems that are causing us to gain weight and then keep it on and then probably keep gaining more and keep that on, we need to understand what's going on before we start to fix it. One of the main tools that we are going to use through this entire weight loss journey is going to be some sort of a tracker app. I use Lose It, which is just a little app on my phone, but there's others. I think there's another one called MyFitnessPal that some people use, and there's probably 20 others. But it's just an app on your phone that makes it easy to log your calories, to like keep track of everything that you eat throughout the day, track your movement, your exercise, and it allows you to track your weight. So the first action, well, let's say our pre-action is to download an app. The one I use, I said, is Lose It. You do not need to buy the premium package. You just use the free app. It has everything you need. If you want to go for premium, go ahead, but I don't think it's necessary. And then the first real action for the next week or so, maybe even longer, I want you to track all of the food that you eat, all of the food you eat, all the drinks you drink. You don't really have to track water, but anything that would have calories, track it. Because I know you want to say it's not all about the calories, but indeed it is about the calories. We have to understand the calories that are coming into our body in the way we normally eat. We could try to jump in and just start losing weight, but again, we have to understand where we are right now. So for at least a week, track everything you eat and drink without trying to make any change. Now, in reality, you probably are going to make a little bit of a change, because as soon as you know that you're tracking it, you might make some better choices. But we want to get as close as possible to what we're really eating now. One of the most difficult parts of that is being honest with ourselves. And I want you to sit with that and feel it and notice it. So when you go to put something in your phone and you're like, ooh, I ate this, and you're like, oh, that was a lot more calories than I thought, you might be tempted to just shave a little bit of that serving size off, right? Oh, maybe I only ate half a serving. Yeah, that's it. Don't do that. Be honest. No logging that 8-ounce glass of wine as a 4-ounce glass of wine. Own it. Just own what you're eating. If you don't know and you don't just accept it, then you're already fighting a losing battle. You have to be honest. You just have to be. And again, if you really struggle to be honest, I want you to think about that. Journal on it. Meditate on it. If you really think it's a problem, maybe even talk to somebody like a professional about it. we need honesty above all else with ourselves. If we can't be honest with ourselves, that's an issue. And I'm going to just give you a quick example of why this is important. This was my experience with this. A few months ago, I was sort of getting fed up with my weight. Not that my weight is crazy. I'm not obese by any stretch of the imagination, but my clothes were getting uncomfortable. I thought, like, I've been watching what I eat. I've been exercising a little bit, and I still feel uncomfortable in my clothes. And I was blaming it on hormones because everybody knows that when you start getting into perimenopause and menopause, that your body kind of freaks out a little bit and hormones go nuts. And one of the things that often happens is we put on a little extra belly fat, and it is hard to get rid of. I was pretty certain that that's what my problem was. It was just hormones. I was thinking about talking to my doctor about it, seeing if, maybe if like hormone therapy might help, or maybe like some other medication that might help melt that belly fat away. I don't know. But I didn't have that conversation. Instead, I decided to reality check myself first. I downloaded the app. I started tracking my food because, again, I eat pretty healthy. So I was pretty sure that I was doing everything right. I mean, sort of what I do. But no, I was honest with myself. I tracked everything as I did it. And oh my God, I was so surprised. Yes, my meals were great. I cook very healthy meals and not high calorie. They're filling, they're healthy, it's all good. But what I didn't realize was how often I walk through my kitchen and I'm just like, got a little, not really hungry, but I could eat. So I do. I walk through my kitchen and I decide to cut a few pieces of cheese. Great, munch on that. I walk through the kitchen or go to the pantry for something, maybe prepping dinner, and I was like, oh, peanuts. Eat a couple handfuls of peanuts just for no reason, just because they're there. I realized how much I did that. I was like, oh my God, of course I'm gaining weight because I'm adding all of these extra calories out like throughout my day. And it's not happening at a meal where I really notice it. It was just a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. And that all adds up to a lot. So just having that reality check for me was great because it meant, this probably isn't hormonal. I mean, maybe I'm craving food a little bit more because of the hormones. Maybe not. I don't know. But it gave me control back. I was able to say, like, hey, it's actually me. It's my behavior that is causing the problem. So it's my behavior that I'm going to change. And to be clear, yes, perimenopause does tend to bring a little weight gain. Our bodies do just naturally want to put on a little extra weight before we become elderly. So we are sort of fighting an uphill battle if you are of a certain age, but it's not an impossible battle, right? It's maybe a little more difficult. Maybe the weight doesn't come off as easy as it did when we were in our 20s and 30s. But if we get it to come off, we're not going to gain it this time, right? We're going to stay. It's going to stay off. We're going to learn how to eat to maintain that weight, and it's all going to be good, all right? It's going to be good. It's going to be sustainable. But while we're on that subject, let us talk about expectations just for a moment before we move on to the second action that you're going to take this week. If you are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, you cannot expect that even if you get down to the number, that you are going to have that same body that you had in your 20s, right? Even if you meet that weight number, our body composition changes, right? We are never going to look like our 20-year-old selves. So we need to reality check that a little bit. Or maybe you've always been a little bit heavy. Then it's unrealistic to think that all of a sudden maybe you're going to get down to be like supermodel stick thin. Nor do you want to, just for the record. But I want you to think about what feels healthy to you. And if you're like me, you don't even know. Like I picked a number, I'm like, oh, I'm sure when I get to this weight, I will feel great. And then I got to that weight and I was like, okay, I'm close, but that wasn't quite where I thought that number would leave me, right? Like, I expected that to be a little bit thinner than it really is. I couldn't really visualize and I couldn't really remember what I used to weigh when I felt good in my body. So just reality check yourself a little bit to like what your outcome is. You might not be able to pick the right number. You might not know exactly what weight you want to be, but you can at least visualize where you want to be, how you want to look, right? And it's not like a supermodel, and it's not like when you were 20. Back to that tracker app. Action number 2 that you're going to take this week is to log all of your movement. For one, track your steps. You can do that right on your phone. If you're carrying your phone with you, it keeps track of your steps throughout the day, and you can link your phone and your app together usually so that those steps come right in. And then you also have a way on the app to track actual workouts. So if you go on the elliptical, set your phone aside so you're not double counting and trying to get steps from the elliptical. You're just going to go on the elliptical, count the elliptical, see how many minutes you were on it, how like active you were, how like fast you were going. Log that in. If you do any sort of weightlifting, you'll log that in. If you do anything, yard work counts, you log that in. And just to get an idea of how much exercise you are actually getting, because many of us overestimate and we think we're getting more than we are. And we have like, I don't know, we've tricked ourselves, I think, sometimes to think that we are actually working out more often than we are and that we're walking more than we are. So this is just a good reality check again of how active are you. And then if you happen to notice right off that you're not doing any actual exercise, like you don't go to the gym or you don't go for a purposeful walk or you don't have a treadmill, you're not doing purposeful exercise, and you look at your steps every day and you realize you aren't even getting 5,000 steps a day, then I want you to start finding ways to get more steps, whether it's just making sure you go out for a quick walk at lunch, whether it's trying to use the stairs more often instead of using the elevator, whatever it might be to try to get more steps. We want to try to get to at least 5,000. And then if you can do, or if you are doing extra workouts in addition to that, make sure you log it so that you know. Again, we're just trying to get what is our current situation. But if you notice right off that it's really bad, start working to improve that. Start working to get more steps. And then the last thing, the third action that I'm going to give you for this week, you might not like it, but I'm going to ask you to weigh yourself every day and log it into the app. Now, I know it's not all about the number, and I know that seeing that number every single day can sometimes be a little bit depressing. It can be a little frustrating. But again, we're not trying to lose weight here. We're just trying to see, like, where are we really? Because for one, our weight typically fluctuates during the day and from day to day. We can easily be up and down like 3 pounds without even thinking about it. So I want you to start tracking every single day. And then, at the end of the week, you can see like, what is your average? What is your real true weight? It's probably going to be the average. And maybe notice like how much you fluctuate just during that 1 week. And then know like even like other weeks, if you're still getting your period, you might fluctuate more like during your cycle, whatever. 1 week, it's not going to be perfect, but at least it gives you just a little bit of a visual of how much your weight fluctuates, so that when you do get into actually like weight loss work, that when you're watching your weight and if you see it like go up a pound, you know not to panic, right? You've proven to yourself that that's just what your body does. It's not a big deal. And then it will come back down. So we're going to track it and we're going to put it in the app, because the app is going to track it. It will even chart it for us. But that allows us later on, when we are frustrated and feeling like we're not really losing weight, like we feel like maybe we're plateauing, we can look at the data and show like, no, we're not. We're fine. We are still trending downward. All is good. It's important to have that data. So even if it stresses you out, I encourage you to weigh yourself. This is also a great time if you want to take some before pictures or like measure yourself in a couple places. Why not do it now? Make a note of those numbers, take the picture, and then you have that in the future if you want to compare. If you don't want to take pictures or measure yourself, that's fine too, but this would be the time to do it if you're thinking about it. So for the next week or so, do those things. Track your food, track your exercise, track your weight. And again, before you push back and say, I don't want to do those things, let me tell you that without those things, you're just sort of like shooting into the dark, right? As we move forward, if you don't have real data, then it's hard to know how to troubleshoot any problems that you have. It's hard to know what's really going on if you don't have the data. If you don't have the data, end of story. It's hard to know if you don't have the data. So collect the data. And also, lastly, I know you're going to be tempted to jump into diet mode, I should say, trying to eat less to start losing a little bit of weight. Please don't. Please stay right here. Watch what you eat. Maybe pay attention. Notice where like trouble pops in, like when you're logging your food. Is there a day or a time of day that you struggle a little bit? Notice that so that we can address it in the future. So again, make sure you are subscribed, make sure you've liked this video, even leave me a comment letting me know that you're joining in. And in about another week or so, video 2 will be on its way.